Gut issues are becoming more and more prevalent, and yet there is a remedy in the form of melatonin. So broadening on and continuing on with the conversation around melatonin, I'm here to discuss melatonin's role in being able to inhibit a specific cytokine sequence in which is induced by unwanted bacterial overgrowth. You see, in the outer membrane of unwanted bacteria, gram-negative bacteria, we have what they call lipopolysaccharides. And here's a little molecular diagram that I drew here just to depict exactly what that looks like. Now, melatonin has the impact to be able to inhibit a major cytokine which gets released when there is an excess of lipopolysaccharides in the system, known as a nuclear factor kappa beta. Now, lipopolysaccharides are known to not only facilitate the release of this particular cytokine, but subsequently the cytokines that are released thereafter, interleukin-6, interleukin-1 beta, tumor necrosis factor alpha, all of which instigate microglial activation. Now, through this microglial activation, one can experience neural inflammatory symptoms. It can also have an impact on creating lipid peroxidation, amongst many other outcomes such as synucleic protein misfolding, tau hyperphosphorylation, all things that can eventually lead into neurodegenerative pathologies. However, melatonin plays a great role in inhibiting lipopolysaccharides' likelihood to do this to the brain, and not just to the brain, to the body itself. But not only does it do that, it also supports specific bacteria in their ability to be able to produce postbiotics, namely, in this particular example, the production of butyrate. Butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid, also helps to support the gut lining, restoring integrity of the gut lining. But apart from doing that, it also acts as a histone deacetylase inhibitor. What this does, it actually prevents the DNA from not being able to exhibit anti-inflammatory mechanisms, thereby promoting anti-inflammatory outcomes, as well as, in doing that, promoting the likely production of neurotransmitters by providing an environment that is not excessively inflamed. In addition to it being an HDAC inhibitor, it also protects tryptophan metabolism by way of inhibiting nuclear factor kappa beta, as in when nuclear factor kappa beta gets tightened, we have an overactivation of a pathway called the kynurenine protein pathway, and this pathway causes our tryptophan to be redirected toward producing a higher yield of NAD, which is needed for the purpose of fueling mitochondrial immunological axes to support certain lymphocyte activity. However, in inhibiting this excessive release of nuclear factor kappa beta, we have more tryptophan being made available, which helps our production of serotonin. In addition to that, due to its impact of inhibiting or the excessive proliferation of microglial activation, it also has the ability to reduce the likelihood of dopamine quinone formation. Dopamine quinone is a radical that can get produced when dopamine is in an environment of high oxidative load, thereby oxidizing the dopamine, especially the extracellular dopamine, to create yet another radical called dopamine quinone. All in all, in its impact on the gut and impact on the brain, suffice to say, it also subsequently has impact via way of improving on butyrate synthesis in supporting bile acid synthesis. And bile acids are not only important for the emulsification of fats, but they're also important for certain receptors that are responsible for the tone in the limbic system, known as fascinoid X receptors. Bile acids help to modulate fascinoid X receptors, thus improving on the gut-liver axis, and with the eventual outcome of improving and modulating the autonomic nervous system, and thus increasing or improving the tone of our limbic system. For me, Justin McGuire, I hope this information was useful for those of you who are looking to improve on your gut health and the gut-brain axes in particular. If it was, please do click like or share with those of you in your community. Happy to continue the unfolding of knowledge within this paradigm of precision medicine. Until we meet again next time, remember, stay optimized.